is what it isn't. Looking for a better way to get up out of bed instead of getting on the internet and checking a new hit. Me get up, first shot, come strut walking. A little bit of humble, a little bit of cautious. Somewhere between like Rocky and Cosby's for the game. Nope, y'all can't copy yet. Bad moonwalking, and this here is our party. My posse's been on Broadway, and we did it all way. Chrome music, I shed my skin and put my bones into everything I record to it. And yeah, I'm on. Let that stage light go and shine on down. Got that Bob Barker suit game and Plinko in my style. Money, stay on my craft and stick around for those pounds. But I do that to pass the torch and put on for my town. Trust me, on my IND.
Well, there's so many awesome things about being an RA, but my favorite part is probably hanging around with my super awesome RA staff.
My favorite part of the RA job is the bulletin boards because I get to be creative and come up with fun ideas to present educational information to my residents.
My favorite part of the RA job is just all the friends that I've made throughout the staff and the community that we formed together.
My favorite part about being an RA is all of the great people that I have had the chance to meet and get to know throughout the year on my staff. Like that!
My favorite part of the RA job is being able to build a community. I really like being able to live with 22 other residents and be their RA and understand and get to know who they are. It's fun just having everyone be on the same page and be the leader of a group, I don't know, and be able to control my own community and build it the way that I want to. That would definitely be my favorite part.
I really enjoy the interaction with the residents and other staff members, just making new friends and meeting new people, building relationships. It's a lot of fun.
Getting closer with our staff. I know we've all become really close as a staff, and also with my residents. There's a lot of people I would have never really talked to, or wouldn't have had the chance to talk to. And being an RA gave me the chance to meet so many new people.
My favorite part of the RA job is getting to know my residents.
I think my favorite part is definitely connecting with people. It's a really great experience to be able to be a role model for your residents. They always look up to you. They come to you when they have problems. So they're like, okay, this person has been through it before, and like academics and social problems, things like that. And then also connecting with staff is a really huge deal. I've made some really strong friendships.
Favorite part? Oh man, I'd have to say meeting a bunch of new people I wouldn't know otherwise, free place to stay, free food to eat, get your own room to yourself. Yeah.
I think my favorite part about being an RA has been being able to meet all of the different people that I have on my floor that I would never met before. There's so many different people living in the residence halls, and being an RA, you really get to make relationships with all of them, and you really get to learn all their different stories and the interesting things they have to say.
The most challenging part of the RA role would probably be implementing quiet hours and trying to get your residents to listen to them.
Throughout the year, it's going to be pretty chill, but sometimes when you have different exams and different projects to do at the same time, things can get a little hectic, but I would say everything is still manageable, and as long as you manage your time right, you should be good.
Going on duty for the first time was really challenging because you feel like you're prepared, and then you get there and you're like, oh god, I'm not ready for this. So I think that was definitely most challenging, but your staff and your RDs and GRDs are all there to support you, so it will be okay.
Especially Dennis.
Especially Dennis.
The most challenging part of being an RA, especially at a second year residence hall, is fostering that sense of community that we had during our first year at DU.
Most challenging would be being in a situation where one of my friends do something wrong or violate policy, and I have to address that situation, like writing them up or documenting the incident. But you get used to that, and it's always possible to overcome.
The most challenging part for me of being an RA is that my residents are a little crazy and they like to destroy things, and just trying to keep them under control.
Of time management between the job, connecting with the community with your residents, then building with like the community with your staff, and then doing homework in school and extracurriculars on top of that.
Dennis, why don't I tell you what my least favorite part of the RA job is?
Okay.
I learn too much, I have too much fun, and it's too good of an experience overall.
The most challenging part about being an RA is having to deal with policy violations when it's people that you know or knew from a year before. I had to deal with an incident with a bunch of my really close friends from last year, and it was really hard because I had to, document them and had to deal with the situation.
I'd definitely say just making sure that you balance all of your commitments, because as rewarding as it is, it's also very time consuming. If you have a lot of stuff going on in your classes, it can be a real struggle to juggle everything, but when you get that done and when you learn how to get that done well, it's very rewarding, very beneficial for your future.
For me, the most challenging part has been programming. I found it really difficult to kind of generate interest in something that some residents already have a negative attitude toward, but I feel like this is something that's more of a challenge this second year building.
The most challenging part is probably staying up for duties and writing reports.
The RA job teaches you a lot about just practice and consistency with leadership. At BU, they're really big about teaching you about leadership skills and practices, and in the RA job, you get to apply them and try them out every day and every week in your different roles. So that's been really helpful to me.
It's interesting to see how different people lead in different ways. So for me, I really enjoyed watching the other staff members and getting an understanding of the leadership roles that they take and how they need to lead differently depending on their residents. Just from observing, I think I've learned a lot about leadership.
Just the simple fact that all your residents look up to you, and either you lead or they go astray and they wander and they don't know what's going on. So you're kind of forced to lead, and that's put me in a better. That's made me a better leader.
Training really gave me the mindset I felt that I needed to just jump into the role and kind of learn as I go. One of the days that I really enjoy about training was going through different scenarios in policy and kind of seeing what it would look like in a real situation and how to react.
Just the part of the RA training program that covered how to balance your time, how to stay on top of all of your RA duties while also still being a full-time student and still being incredibly involved on campus. So I think it just was a good introduction to know what to expect more than anything. And it was actually kind of nice getting here early, having those 2 weeks to adjust to life back on campus. I really liked it.
Training was a great time to get to know everybody, to get to just have fun with them away from all the stressful lectures. The training was also a great time to meet different people on campus and different staff members that I didn't even know existed.
I think training especially helped with my confidence in going into situations, and just having a knowledge that's really similar with the rest of my staff makes working as a team really easy.
Training was huge in preparing for the job. I think the thing I remember most is behind closed doors, where you have to act out real scenarios. And that was a big help, because when you're walking into things like that, nothing can really fully prepare you, but you at least kind of had walked through it before and you felt somewhat prepared. And training also prepared you because it built you to be a team with the staff, so you know how to work together and you get to know each other well, and it's just really great.
Definitely. I've absolutely loved the staff here at Nelson. We all get along extremely well. We haven't had any conflicts, and we're just always there to support each other when we need help, and whether that's from covering shifts to if we're just overwhelmed by our RA tasks or just life in general, everyone's just really friendly, and we've definitely made the transition from coworkers to friends.
Our staff gets along great. I hang out with them all the time at the desk, or we make staff bonding times, and we hang out all the time together, and I really love them.
Well, I came onto staff about 2 weeks after the school year started, so I was kind of new and I didn't really know anyone. Everyone had already spent the 2 weeks of training together, and so everyone on staff was really great about incorporating me and helping me out with all the stuff I didn't know how to do. And everyone was just really welcoming, and I became really good friends with all of them on staff, even though I came so late. So, we all had really good relationships together.
Throughout training, I think I built really strong relationships with other staff members. There's really few other people on campus that really understand what your job entails and understand what you're going through. So you really just build like unspeakable bonds.
Well, the primary relationship that I have is as a mentor to my residents, and I really like giving them advice about all school and and answering any sort of questions they have.
So it's difficult to build relationships with residents in second year buildings, but those that are involved and really want to make a relationship with you are really fun to get to know throughout the year during floor socials and building night programs and such. So it just takes perseverance.
And it's been really neat because each relationship is different, and it's what makes this job so cool and just the community so great is that everyone has a different outlook on life and it's a different story.
So, these are two of my residents walking down for a little smoke break. They're from the great nation of China. Hysterical guys, great guys. I never would have gotten to know them if I wasn't an RA, and I'm actually planning to visit them next year as I study abroad in China. So that's been a big highlight.
I've actually built some really unbelievable relationships with my residents, and that's been one of the things that I've really enjoyed about being an RA. Just the friendships that I've made and the new people that I never would have met if I hadn't been an RA.
I'd say the relationships I've built with my residents are friendships, I'll be honest. It's definitely been a struggle to balance personal and professional because I really do love my hall and love the people in it.
Great relationship with my residents, and I think it's because I've given to them and understood what they're interested in, and they've also given to me and found things that I'm interested in. We've met mutually on those topics and pursued relationships through that.
What surprised me the most when I got the RA position was how welcoming the staff was and how much of a family we turned into.
Something that surprised me about being an RA was that doing programming and stuff was actually really fun. I thought it was going to be kind of awkward and weird asking residents to like come up and do stuff with you, stuff that you'd planned that you thought would be fun.
I think the types of incidents that I have encountered, just things that students do, are pretty interesting sometimes, definitely surprising.
The thing that surprised me most about being an RA is just how close I've become with a lot of my residents in such a short time.
Yeah, just always make sure, have fun with what you're doing and work hard, but always schedule some time for yourself to take off because it's quite a demanding job at times and you need some me time too.
My additional advice for the RA job is to get some sleep.
Something I would recommend for everybody is to really get to know your staff now that you have the chance. You all will be with each other throughout training for 2 weeks, so really use that opportunity to get to know each other on a more deeper level and just use the time you have together.
When people need their duty shifts taken and late night desk shifts taken, say yes when it's in a pinch, but it's not your obligation to say yes.
Stay positive.
Have fun with it. Don't waste a moment. Have fun with your staff. Have fun with your residents. Buy food that you like for socials because you can't go wrong because you at least have one person guaranteed to enjoy it. And yeah, good luck.
I would say to make sure to keep your schedule really organized because you do have a lot of different stuff that you are dealing with as an RA, both school stuff and RA and desk stuff. So I would say to be really organized about your schedule so you don't miss any deadlines or, so you get everything done when it needs to be done.
Just love what you're doing. When you wake up in the morning, you just have to have a purpose or else what are you waking up for? So you have to embrace the resident assistant. It's a lifestyle, it's not a job. You have to live that lifestyle to the fullest.
I'd say don't be overwhelmed at the beginning of the year. It will seem like a lot of work, but it's very manageable. And so during training, don't stress out and just take it as it comes.
I think the major thing to remember is that this job that you have is not about you, but about the 22 people on your floor. I think it's easy to get caught up in maybe dramas of staff or things that you dislike about the job. or even social things with residents, and forget that you are, number one, a resource from them or for them, and also a leader. So remember that, and make sure that you put yourself second, and that's why you're getting paid.
Try and keep your room clean. Like, it's great having a single, but it's a small room, and once it takes you over, it's hard to take it back over.
It is a job. It's not going to be easy and fun the whole time. It's not just for your room and board. It is a job. So realizing that and being okay with that, and then just going full force, because it is fun.
Don't take it too seriously. Have fun. Enjoy your time. It's going to be an awesome year. Really get to know your RA staff well. You'll have a blast.
Yeah, I would say try not to be afraid to ask questions. I know that sometimes we just think we're going to ask something stupid, but the longer you go on to not ask the question, the more it can affect the job later on. So just ask it. Most of us are going to be open to answering it. And even if it is a stupid question, because there are stupid questions, we'll still answer them and won't make you feel stupid.
The biggest thing is actually working the desk and how wonderful and important it is.
RADI is that it's all about attitude. What you bring to these sessions is what you're going to get out of it. So if you're going to come in with an attitude to say, I'm going to learn today, I'm going to take what I've learned from here and apply to my job, that's what you're going to get out of it. Versus if you come in and say, this is boring, I can't believe I'm spending this many hours here, you're going to not get anything out of it.
An RA can get out of RADI many different things, but one that I think is super duper important is building those resources and connections through all the staff members you get to meet, whether it's in all staff like buildings, maybe all staff programs that will be happening throughout these 2 weeks. So just start meeting people and learning what they're passionate about and their interests and their clubs.
I think an RA can get a lot of things out of RADI, hopefully. I think that the most important thing is that you learn the basic skills to become successful in your RA job. RADI is not going to teach you everything about being an RA. It's really just intended to give you the basics, and we'll build on that and have professional developments throughout the year. But it'll give you a really good start to be successful.
The solid foundation of everything that you need to know, but by no means is that it's comprehensive. Learning will continue throughout the year, and we just want you to get the basics of everything and just keep going strong and use critical thinking throughout the year.
We provide you with a lot of information and teach you the skills that are necessary to be a good RA, but also at the same time it allows you to reflect and build your own skill set to make this whatever experience you want it to be. You can really get out of this what you put into it.
So I would advise you to find your source of caffeine.
I think that the best advice is to just be yourself. We hired you all to do the job as an individual, and it's inspiring to see people who really grow into themselves and their identities working with us and on the HRE team. So I would say just be yourself. Everything else will fall into place, and we will be here to support you through that journey.
My biggest piece of advice for RAs is to open yourself up to new experiences. This is going to be a great time. You're going to have a wonderful time this year, but it's going to be hard. So you need to keep that in mind. Make time for yourself and make time for your residents so that you're always ready to help in an educational moment.
Lots of coffee.
You should just have fun. It's going to be a fun year, and just don't take anything too seriously. Just make sure you're having a good time and get things done.
Okay, so two things. One, you have to be flexible. Things are going to pop up in this position that you just haven't prepared for. Things are going to catch you off guard. You're going to have 5 tests the night before, and you're going to have a bulletin board, and you're going to have mom and dad calling you from home, and then you still need to get all these things done. So one, be flexible as things pop up. But two, also manage your time effectively, because at the end of the day, it's going to feel like a lot, but you do have enough time. It's just going to require that you maybe sacrifice a little bit here and there, or plan ahead.
If you don't drink coffee, try a yoga pose.
Okay, my advice for RADI for all of you RAs is that take care of yourself.
Self-care is going to be a big piece for you to be successful during this time and for rest of the year, so better start practicing self-care now. You're welcome.
Is know that you are not sending people to the moon. This is not rocket science. So have fun and don't take yourself too seriously with this. We make a lot, we impact a lot of students' life here in a great way, but you should have fun while you're doing it.
And don't forget your vitamins.
I think we all need a pep talk. The world needs you to stop being boring. Yeah, you. Boring is easy. Everybody can be boring, but you're gooder than that. Life is not a game, people. Life isn't a cereal either. Well, it is a cereal. And if life is a game, are we on the same team? I mean, really, right? I'm on your team. Be on my team. This is life, people. You got air coming through your nose. You got heartbeat. That means it's time to do something. A poem. Two roads diverged in the woods, and I took the road less traveled. It hurt, man! Really bad. Rocks, thorns, and grass. My pants broke. Wah! Not cool, Robert Frost. But what if there really were two paths? I want to be the one that leads to awesome. It's like that dude Journey said, don't stop believing, unless you dream stupid. Then you should get a better dream. I think that's how it goes. Get a better dream and keep going. Keep going, and keep going. What if Michael Jordan had quit? Well, he didn't quit. No, he retired. Yeah, yes, he retired. But before that, in high school, what if he quit when he didn't make the team? He would have never made Space Jam. And I love Space Jam. What will be your Space Jam? What will you create will make the world awesome? Nothing if you keep sitting there. That's why I'm talking to you today. This is your time. This is my time. It's our time. We can make every day better for each other. If we're all on the same team, let's start acting like it. We got work to do. We can cry about it, or we can dance about it. We were made to be awesome. Let's get out there. I don't know everything. I'm just a kid. But I do know this. So everybody's due to give the world a reason to dance. So get to it. You've just been pep talked. Create something that will make the world awesome. Play ball.
A little party never killed nobody. Right here, right now is all we get. Skidin' ba da